President, the Prime Minister of Iceland.
Hello there. Nice to meet you. Nice to see you.
Very nice. Very glad to have the opportunity.
Well, we can chair there. And we'll have a small talk for a while, because there'll be 3 waves of press. Some of them try to ask questions, and we always tell them that we take questions.
Yes.
Sometimes they ask us.
That's my job to ask questions.
Just small talk about it. We're not talking about
So warm weather here. It's so warm weather.
I think the most record plus the humidity. Maybe if that greenhouse effect we're talking about is really happening. Maybe it's starting here.
Mr. President, are you flattered that Governor Dukakis said yesterday that he believes he and you agree more closely on East-West relations than you and the Vice President of the United States?
I'm just more of the suspicious type.
Mr. President, if it's the only way you can get contra aid, will you accept the Byrd proposal?
I'm supporting the Dole proposal right now.
But it doesn't look like that's going to pass.
Well,
Who's your candidate for running mate for Vice President Bush?
what?
Who is your candidate for the number 2 spot?
I don't have a candidate.
At all?
No, that's up to him.
You want to give your national security advisor?
You want to watch out, he's standing right behind you.
Lights, please. Thank you.
Lights?
Please, we have another group to get out.
He read for that column.
The other group. Might be outside. Let's go, please. Cameras, Cal, Phil. John, that way, please.
Mr. President, are you going to stop Iceland from waiting?
We have a very fine agreement with Iceland right now. We appreciate it very much.
Mr. President, my name is Kárason from Iceland. I was wondering if there is any possibility that Iceland and the United States will make some free trade agreement in the near future, maybe similar to what you have done between USA and Canada.
But I think it's something certainly for us to talk about, because I think our relationship is a really fine one with Iceland, and something of that kind could probably make it even better.
Do you personally, do you personally
Right up this way, please. Right up here.
My philosophy is one of
Right up this
free
way,
and
please,
fair trade.
outside.
Everybody's.
Mr. President, what do you think about the idea of the Icelandic Foreign Minister about the Reykjavik Foundation as an international peace organization?
So the meeting's about to begin.
I mean, there is something that I'll have to wait till we've had some talks to find out what you're
Outside,
asking.
please.
We welcome you as the first for an Icelandic, your visit as a first for an Icelandic Prime Minister. And I think, as you and I have discussed, your visit demonstrates the strong and beneficial relationship that Iceland and the United States enjoys. I think perhaps since our last meeting had to do with summits with the East and our East-West relationship, that perhaps I should say a few words about the most recent trip, the Moscow summit. And we feel that it was a success. And perhaps most gratifying was the opportunity we had to speak directly about our Western values and traditions with the Soviet people themselves, not just with members of the Politburo. I know my encounters with Soviet citizens, young people at the Moscow University, people on the street, dissidents and refuseniks and writers and artists helped break down, I think, some barriers of misunderstanding. As a matter of fact, we were all greatly surprised at the attitude of the people themselves, just the people on the street that you met. There was a friendship, a friendliness, and a warmth in their greeting that was very reassuring and somewhat different than sometimes we get from the members of the Politburo. But we agreed to expand exchanges and people-to-people contacts, especially among young people. In fact, the General Secretary was quite enthused when we made that proposal about taking our young people, say at about high school age, and having them spend some time in each other's country, living with the families of our people. The Soviets still have a long way to go, but we're encouraged on the progress that has been made on the human rights front. And we welcome the Afghanistan agreement, the first phase of their Soviet troop withdrawal, and we're encouraged by progress toward resolving other regional conflicts such as the Iran-Iraq affair, the Southern Africa, and now Cambodia. And so we signed the INF Treaty, as you know, or the instruments of ratification, I should say, in Moscow. We had already signed the treaty. Progress toward a START treaty, that's the one of 50% reduction in the intercontinental ballistic missiles. The progress is slow. It's much more complicated than the first one was, but we'll go as far as we can during the remainder of this year. And we won't, however, we've avoided setting any deadlines. We think what we want is a good treaty and not just get something to meet a deadline for signing, so however long it takes, we'll stay at the table there with you. We won't, well, we're pursuing our strategic defense initiative. That was the thing that came to a head in high school in '86 when we met Beckton, was the point of difference where that was the price they wanted us to pay for just anything. But I think I should tell you that we've gone far enough in the research and development of that strategic defense plan to be very confident we are going to be able to come up with a defense